bitches, thanks for tuning in for this week's episode of Bitch Talk. I've lots of topics I want to discuss with you guys, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel, do that right now, okay? Anyway, I'm Millie. If you don't know that by now, I am an internationally best-selling author and a bitchivator. And you're probably asking, what the hell is a bitchivator? Basically, I motivate women from all over the globe to become the best version of themselves, aka bitches. But not just any bitch, smart bitches, because no one likes a stupid bitch, right? So anyway, on this week's episode of Bitch Talk, I want to talk to you about changing your mind and why it's okay to change your mind. This is, I think, one of my top topics because I change my mind constantly. And if you've ever made a decision only to regret it minutes later, or you've missed out on life by not following your gut, it kind of sucks, right? I mean, why do we even do that? Why do we beat ourselves up over a decision that we thought we wanted and then we don't want, and then we get stuck with this decision, right? Why is it so hard for us to make the right decision for us? And it's very easy. It's two reasons. Basically, A, we're worried about what other people are going to say, and B, change is fucking scary. That's basically it. And you know what I have to say about that? Fuck that shit. Okay. Fuck it. Fuck it if you accepted a job that you thought you were going to freaking love and you end up hating. Fuck a relationship that no longer brings you joy. Fuck living in a place that you're miserable day in and day out. Your life freaking sucks. And you just sit there and freaking complain about it day in and day out. So let me ask you something. Is the life you currently have the life you've always dreamed of? Does your life bring you complete happiness? And if not, then it's your freaking fault. That's it. There's nobody else's fault but your own. Because you're worried about the wrong things. What you should be worried about is not living a life of purpose, not living your true, authentic life. And how do you live an authentic life? Easy. You follow your heart. You lead with love. Every decision that you make, if you lead with love, I promise you, it's the right decision. If you're unhappy in a relationship, odds are the other person is miserable too. If you're miserable at work, odds are you're doing a horrible job and you're not doing your work the way you should be doing. Now, I'm not telling you to break up with someone. I'm not telling you to quit your marriage. What I'm saying is to address the topic of self-love. And once you've identified what self-love really means to you, you get a clear vision on how loving yourself first will create a more positive dynamic in all other areas of your life and your relationships. For example, let me tell you a conversation I had the other day with my husband. I was explaining to him about a problem that I was having with my services page. Basically, I'm a nerd. I love to learn things on my own so that when I hire an assistant, I'm better equipped to delegate tasks. So anyway, I was asking him, hey, what should I do about the services page? Because I was thinking about removing a specific service that I no longer felt resonated with what I wanted to offer. More specifically, it was my virtual assistant services. Now, for those of you that don't know, I've been an entrepreneur for over 7 years. I owned a cupcake store for a few years, and then when my family and I moved to Asia, I dove headfirst into my writing career. And everything I know about social media and writing comes from research and hard work. And I love to share all my knowledge with people who might be struggling with the same problems that I'm struggling with. So that's what started my decision in becoming a virtual assistant. Anyway, so I was explaining to my husband that offering these services no longer resonated with me, and he asked me to explain to him all the different services that I had. And he said, as soon as I was done, that my body language completely changed when I was explaining to him the VA services as opposed to the coaching services. And he basically said that I was happier and my whole face lit up when I was talking about my coaching services. And I laughed, and the reason why I laughed was because I already knew the answer. I kind of just wanted someone else to like tell me and say it for me, but I already knew what the answer was, and the answer basically was that I just didn't want to be a VA. It doesn't resonate with me. It's not my calling. I really don't want to work for anyone else and have other people telling me what to do. So anyway, it was just obvious, right? So why was I having a really hard time making the decision of changing my mind? And it was because of the guilt, right? The guilt of changing your mind. Anyway, I did it. I removed the service, and a few days later, he made a comment about the fact that I changed my mind and how I let the VA stuff go. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm like, you know what? I took ownership, and I said it's perfectly okay for me to change my mind about something if it doesn't bring me happiness. That's the bottom line. And I don't have to explain myself to him or to anyone else. And basically that's the mindset that you have to have. You know, he nodded, went back to whatever he was doing, and that was the end of that. But why do we beat ourselves up over changing our minds? Because we're worried about what other people are going to say. And you know what? Some people get it, some people won't, and who the fuck cares? You don't have to please anyone but yourself. No one matters but you first, you know? And in the end, the only person you're letting down is yourself. So the bottom line is, hell yeah, you're allowed to change your mind about your career, about relationships that no longer bring you happiness. Now, side note, this has nothing to do with having kids, because that's a completely different topic that I won't be addressing in today's video in any way, shape, or form. But you're allowed to change your mind about something that doesn't bring you happiness anymore. And you don't have to explain it to anybody else in any way. So to recap, number one, lead with love, and you can't go wrong. Number two, you don't have to explain yourself to anyone. Number three, it's no one's business what you do with your life. And number four, no one fucking really cares anyway what you do. They really don't. Now, number four, I can go into a whole nother 30 minutes of talking about that topic, and so I'll leave that for another video. But so you can understand the gist of it, is that the only people who really care about what you do with your life are people who are directly affected by your decision. And but I mean by that, for example, if you know you're leasing and co-leasing an apartment with your best friend, and you decide that you know you have 6 months left on your lease and you want to go to Timbuktu to learn how to do underwater basket weaving, then of course your friend is going to be affected by your decision, because you got 6 months left on the lease, and she's just going to have to cover your part of the rent, right? So in that case, yeah, other people might be affected by your decision. But in the event that your decision doesn't affect anybody else, and the majority, it really doesn't, those people, their opinions, they're going to have opinions anyway. And their opinions, the only reason why they have opinions is because you remind them of the shit that they didn't do, of the dreams that they put to the side, okay? Those people who have so many opinions to give, they're just miserable in their own life and don't want you to follow your dreams because they don't have the balls to follow theirs, okay? And I guarantee that. I fucking guarantee that shit. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I hope you learned something from this, and I hope you have a great fucking weekend. Namaste, bitches.